Puff puff looks like a very simple snack, just with flour, sugar, yeast, water and oil. But many people struggle with it. Some puff puff comes out hard and cracked instead of smooth and soft. Some absorbs oil. And sometimes the batter becomes dense and refuses to rise. And sellers even complain that they are not making profit from the puff puff business anymore. All these problems and many more are what we are going to investigate in this video. Why they happens and how professionals fix them. And if you watch this video to the end, I will also share one simple secret that completely changed my puff puff texture forever. So hit the like button and let's begin. In Salpe's Kitchen, we bring you food problem-solving recipes, lucrative commercial food product for business. We enhance your understanding of the already existing food preparation method. All this from the creative mind point of view. So, keep watching, keep learning, keep subscribing, and keep liking. Now, why are you no longer making profit in your daily making puff puff business? Is it truly because the market is no longer smiling at you due to high cost of raw material? Or there is something you, the maker, are not doing right? Leave your honest answer under the comment section after watching this episode. As producers, of course, you cannot directly control inflation of prices in the market. But with good processing method, you can influence the rate of profit that goes directly into your pocket. And in view of that, here are a few things you must not do if you don't want to lose your profit in this business. Number 1, do not over-ferment your puff batter. Some people think that when they add plenty yeast and also allow their puff puff to rise for a very long time, the size of their batter is going to increase, which will in turn give them lots of yield after frying. Oh, sorry. It does not work that way. But instead, your over-fermented batter becomes too acidic with weak batter structure and will definitely absorb oil. The acidity affects the taste that customers will not even like to buy it in the first place. The weak structure affects the yield, so that when the batter is spread in a hot oil, it then collapses instead of forming a tight round ball. And as for the oil absorption rate after frying, I don't know what I'll tell you because it will definitely soak oil. And I believe you know how expensive it is to buy an oil. So your cost will definitely go high and your profits will be crying. And for remedy, do not over add yeast and do not over ferment your batter. I recommend that your yeast quantity should be 1% of your flour whenever you are making your puff puff, and your fermentation period of time should range between 45 minutes to an hour depending on the temperature of your batter and the fermentation environment. The colder temperature will take a longer time and the warmer temperature will take at most 45 minutes. Number 2, do not add excess water in your batter if you want to make profit in your puff business. Of course, you heard me right. Just like most questions I usually get from my comment section. Hey chef, this one you are mixing your puff batter to be thick like this. I hope we'll make profit when we mix our own batter to be thick like this. So because you wanted to make profit from your puff puff business, does that give you right to mix your puff batter so watery like your village river? Come to think of it, let's really analyze it. What happens to your puff when it is being mixed thick and when it is watery? And how it will affect both the quality of your product and the profit that goes into your pocket. Now listen, when your batter is watery, your dough gluten network becomes so weak, creating pores that soaks up your oil, during frying. On the other hand, I agree with you that adding more water to your puff increases its volumes and gives you more number of puff, which is high yield. Unlike when your batter is thick with a less number of puff. Yes, that's true. I agree with you. But the secret of making profit in puff business does not lie in the number of puff you get alone, but it lies in the balance between the yield, your cost in terms of oil usage, and product quality. Watery puff batter does not just soak oil but drinks it. Since oil is considered as the most expensive ingredient in puff making, any recipe that will soak up the oil will certainly increase your cost of production and drains your profit. For instance, it is more gainful to mix a kilogram of thick batter of puff that gives you about 42 balls and fry it with a bottle of oil than another kilogram of watery puff batter that gives you 48 balls but soaks up 2 bottles of oil. Even the difference cannot redeem the profit. And that is why some of you have been crying that there is no profit in puff business. It is not the profit, it is your mixture that actually soaks up your profit. So stop mixing a watery batter, all in the name of I want to make profit. Make quality, and then you will see your profit. For accurate water recommendation for your puff batter mixture, please check my next video on commercially made puff that last for 3 days. I'll drop it in the description and on the end screen once the video is ready. Now let's talk about poor puff qualities that challenges your puff baking ability. The causes as well as the remedies. And number 1 on my list is hard or cracked puff. A good puff supposed to be soft and smooth looking but not cracky. Anytime you see crack in your puff, know that the puff is sending you a signal that there is something wrong in your mixing batter. Now, why do your puff crack? Your puff crack again due to overmixing of water. There are 3 levels of water mixture in puff making. The first level, which I talked earlier, that leads to oil soaking. The second level, in which your batter is thick but not thick enough to give you a smooth batter, so it cracked. And the third level, which gives you the quality puff mixture. Now, this crackiness usually comes with hardness, and anytime you notice this undesirable texture during frying, simply pause, sprinkle some flour into the batter, and knead until it becomes stretchy and allow to ferment for about 10 minutes before you continue frying. And by so doing, you elevate your cracky and hard puff into a smooth puff batter and puff product quality that your customers will always love. Number 2, stiff puff batter. Stiffness in your puff batter arises when your rising agent is deactivated. This can happen if you are mixing your puff batter with a hot water instead of a warm water. So the hot water kills the yeast and causes them to become dormant. So your puff batter refuses to rise no matter how long you wait. This scenario can also happen when you use an inactive rising agent such as expired yeast or an unprotected yeast that was exposed to an air for a very long time. Now the solution. Anytime you notice that your puff batter is stiff, please do not fry, because if you do, you will get a flat puff. But instead, activate another yeast by adding a tablespoon of yeast in a plate, a tablespoon of sugar, and a little bit of warm water. Mix and allow to foam for about 5 or 10 minutes. This is known as yeast activation process. So once you discover foaming in this mixture, that means the yeast has been properly activated. Simply pour this mixture into your already stiffed puff batter, and with the help of a spatula, mix this until it becomes stretchy. Please make sure that the gluten is well activated. If it looks too watery, adjust with flour, but if not, then you are good to go. So allow this to rise again for extra 30 minutes before you start frying. And by so doing, you redeemed your stiff puff batter into a raised dough that's still fried to give you your round and soft puff puff. Other puff puff production problems that has to do with molding, shaping and sizing of your puff puff batter into a ball can be correctly fixed when you get your batter right. And for accurate water mixture and batter measurement, please check out my next video. I will specially teach this alongside with the right frying techniques. So subscribe and turn the notification bell so you'll be notified. Now the secret. One major secret that actually elevated my puff puff quality is the use of baking powder in addition with yeast. Ever since I discovered this technique, I stopped using only yeast, but instead used yeast and baking powder in the ratio of 2:1. This combo helps in giving me perfectly rounded balls, tender puff on the inside and crispy crust on the outside. And customers love it a lot. This technique happened to be also the secret reason why my puff puff can last for 3 days with the right preservation technique, without the use of additive and without preservatives. In fact, it tastes better the next day. So I really implore you to wait for the next video to learn how to rightfully apply it. Thank you so much for watching. We will be drawing our curtain here. But if you have any other question regarding to this topic and you felt like I did not touch it, please leave it at the comment section and I would address it directly or make another video for that. And if you've not liked this video, I wonder why. Please like, subscribe and follow for more. Bye for now.